Former US President Donald Trump has claimed that if he was still president, he'd have ended the Russian and Ukrainian conflict in 24 hours. During an interview, the former US president said he would use his personal relationship with both the Russian and Ukrainian presidents to help bring an end to the conflict in a single day. Trump has outlined his intentions to run for president ahead of the 2024 elections and currently holds a commanding lead in the polls against potential Republican rivals. Taiwan's defense ministry said that it detected a Chinese reconnaissance drone that was sent to conduct a so-called island encirclement patrol. This is the second time in the last 2 weeks Taiwan has announced a Chinese drone encircling the island. According to a report, the Taiwanese defense ministry said that the drone was accompanied by a transport aircraft which had an advanced jamming system. Taiwan previously detected 27 Chinese aircrafts on Tuesday and Wednesday, and after that 13 planes entered Taiwan's air defense identification zone. Hungarian police fired tear gas and detained 5 people at a rally outside the Hungarian Prime Minister's offices. This occurred after a protest against a new law that would eliminate teachers' public servant status took place. This protest was just the latest in a series of demonstrations over the past year for better working conditions for teachers. Police said that the decision to fire tear gas at protesters was triggered by a breakaway group of participants on the afternoon rally where they broke barricades and pelted policemen with debris. Police in Germany and across Europe have arrested more than 100 people in a massive crackdown that targeted an Italian mafia group. This mafia group is suspected of drugs and weapons trafficking. According to Europol, the crackdown was part of an investigation spanning Italy, Germany, Belgium, Portugal, Spain, Slovenia, Romania, Brazil and Panama. In Germany, investigators targeted an ice cream parlor in the town of Schengen, which they suspected was being used to launder money. The group is suspected to have roots in the southern Italian region of Calabria.
Besonderes Produkt, da ist viel Raffinesse drin, viel Tüffelei drin.
Oil prices plunged 4% on Wednesday, continuing the previous session's severe losses after the US Federal Reserve raised interest rates as the investors worried about the economy. The Fed raised interest rates by a quarter percentage point, putting pressure on oil prices as traders fretted that weaker economic growth would reduce energy consumption. Brent fell to a session low of $71.7 per barrel, its lowest level since March 20th. The Federal Reserve entered a new phase in its management of the post-pandemic economic recovery on Wednesday with what could be the final in a historic run of interest rate hikes and increased focus on credit and other economic vulnerabilities. As predicted by financial markets, the US Central Bank lifted its benchmark overnight interest rate by a quarter percentage point to 5%. To the 5% to 5.25% range, but dropped its policy statement language, indicating that it anticipates more rate hikes. The World Bank's Board of Governors elected former MasterCard CEO Ajay Banga to a 5-year term as the president on Wednesday, ushering in an Indian-born finance and development expert to restructure the lender's response to climate change and other global crises. Ajay, the former MasterCard CEO, was nominated for the position in late February by US President Joe Biden and was the sole candidate to replace departing World Bank chief David Malpass, an economist and former US Treasury official who served in the Trump administration. Ajay starts his tenure on the 2nd of June. Flooding and landslides triggered by heavy rain have killed at least 129 people in Rwanda, according to authorities. Rescue efforts are underway for survivors trapped in homes. In a statement, the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, said his government was helping affected people, including with temporary relocations. Landslides have been reported in other elevated areas of Uganda, where deluges and floods have destroyed homes and displaced hundreds. At least 2 people were killed as heavy rain have caused flooding in Italy's populous Emilia-Romagna region. Rivers overflowed their banks after a day and a half of non-stop rain. The intense rainfall comes as Italy faces a second year of drought, which has depleted its largest river, the Po. The Po supports agriculture in the vast Po River Valley before finally emptying into the Adriatic Sea on the east of Bologna. In 1910, oil on canvas painting by French post-impressionist Henri Rousseau looks set to steal the show at Christie's New York Spring Auction. Part of the painter's Jungle series, it showcases a tropical scene envisioned by the self-taught artist who never left France, with Christie's New York vice chairman of 20th and 21st century art describing it as the rarest painting we'll sell this year. Rousseau's current auction priced record stands at $4.4 million, which was set 3 decades ago. This painting is expected to fetch $20 million. Forest officials in India's Chhattisgarh state have rescued a leopard cub and are now in the process of trying to reunite it with its mother. Workers in the district spotted the cub, which had strayed from the forest area, and informed the forest department, following which forest officials came in and have cordoned off the area in order to make the cub's mother feel safe to take its baby. In 2020, India's Environment Ministry reported that it had 12,852 leopards, which is a 60% rise from the previous census, which was carried out in 2014. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.